Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? We are live and we are back for a meeting in the ladies' room conversations. Last week we had an awesome time. We had great feedback. Welcome to meeting in the ladies' room conversations. I am D.Renee. I am the transformation specialist. I support women with overcoming obstacles to help them elevate in life and business. I am a transformational life coach and licensed therapist, and I support women with being able to rediscover who they are, eliminate and dispel limiting beliefs so that they can walk freely into their purpose and create the life they desire to have.
All right. And I am Stephanie Rochelle, your relationship rehab specialist. Hey, Daphne.
Hey, Brandy.
And I help women release their pain and reset their emotions so they can get unstuck and live their fairy tale life and win in life and business. Welcome, Daphne.
Welcome, Daphne.
To meeting in the ladies' room.
Welcome, everyone.
Daphne, I'm not sure if you've been here before, but this is where we shake the fish bowl, and we just pull topics. We just pull topics out, and we just go in. It's nothing scripted. We just give our points of view, and we prefer you guys' feedback, and it's just a back and forth conversation. We have a good time here. Yeah. Every Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Every Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Hey, baby.
So how was your day today?
My day was great. It's been busy because you know what we're gearing up for. We got to go out of town this weekend, so it's been busy trying to just get everything done. But my day was great.
Good. Yeah, mine was pretty. My day was pretty cool, I must say. Started off a little bit slow, but I had to get it together and bring it back.
You needed me to be like, come on.
And bring it back in. Yep. So I'm good. Hi, Nikisha. Welcome to Meeting in the Ladies' Room. Glad you're here. So we have our fishbowl conversations, you guys. So we don't rehearse. We don't practice. We don't script anything. We just pull straight from our topics, and we have a great conversation. We like for your interaction. You can say what you want to say. Talk about what you want to talk about. That's what we do. You ready? Shake it.
I hope y'all ready. Our first topic.
Drum roll, y'all hear a drum roll?
How do you know when you are compatible? How do you know when you are compatible? You want to take it, or you?
That's I mean, for me, I think people, when they talk about compatibility, right? I think a lot of people, when they're starting to date, they always talk about the what they don't know, or what they don't like, the things that they don't like, or what they don't want. You know what I'm saying? They feel like those don'ts are what makes them compatible. Or I don't want nobody who smoke, or I don't want this, or I don't want that, or I don't want that. But compatibility, how do you know when you are compatible? Well, I think that there's a lot of chemistry between you and the person. I think that you all have like the same values. You all have the same type of morals. I think that you all have, you're on the same page as it relates to your life, the things you want, the things that you desire to have. Yeah. And you're kind of, you're able to.
So you want the same things.
Yeah, you want the same things, and you're able to work in a cohesive flow. You know, it's not a whole bunch, it's not a struggle. You know what I'm saying? To be able to live when you're compatible and you're kind of flowing and working together. That's my definition. But you know, I'm not married yet, so I guess I ain't found nobody that really was compatible enough to stay.
Well, no, that not necessarily. They could have just chose a different direction.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Compatible enough to stay. That was the key word, stay.
Well, let me see. My thing with being compatible, let me see. Now, see, my journey is a little different.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but before my husband, I dated other guys, and I think a lot of times people confuse because we get along that you're compatible. Well, for me, I get along with a lot of people. So that was not the barometer for me. I'm a likable person. I mean, I had fun with other guys before my husband, but it was some things that I was looking for that they did not have that made my husband rise to the top, as I always talk about. And so it just depends on what you're looking for. And again, like you said, those values and morals that the person brings to the table, if they are in alignment with, if ours are in the same alignment. So I would agree with that. But for us, I go back and forth on the chemistry because Alex and I talked on the phone for 2 months. So I don't know that you can have chemistry through the phone.
You can.
You think so?
I do.
I don't know about chemistry through the phone, but you can definitely nail out compatibility over the phone because you're having a lot of discussions.
So I dated a guy that was out of town in North Carolina, right? And so, I mean, we talked on the phone a whole lot. Like the chemistry was there over the phone just through conversing. Like we talked a lot. Like we would be on the phone. We would be on the phone for like 4 or 5 hours. Like we would be on the phone for hours and hours and hours. And like high school kids. Yeah. So, so I mean, during that time, you build that connection. Yeah. So you build that.
But I think you do build a connection. But I think what connected was our hearts.
Over the phone?
Over the phone. Yeah, because we hadn't seen each other. So by the time we met, in my opinion, our hearts had connected.
So, I mean, would that not mean that y'all compatible then? That y'all had that compatibility over the phone?
I was referring to the chemistry. That's what I was like. I'm not sure about the chemistry thing. I'm not saying we didn't have it. I'm just saying the way that our relationship went about. I'm saying that was the difference. Like when you meet somebody, sometimes you can see if there's chemistry, you feel a certain way, and that
chemistry and connection, I think, go hand in hand.
You think so?
For me,
I'm not sure.
What do you guys think? Like, what do you guys think about chemistry and connection? Like, do you feel like they go hand in hand? Because I don't think that you can really have a connection. Like, I'm an extrovert, so I like energy. I like this, see what you got going on, if we feeling each other and vibing each other. I need to see that kind of stuff.
And you can get that over the phone. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, you can. You can have that connection.
You can get the vibe. You can get the phone.
The connection. That's the connection. Like when you really are talking with someone and you all are talking about that's the connection.
It could be.
That's that part. I think we're saying the same thing, but it's just
it may be.
I'm just something different.
Yeah, I guess I just always thought of chemistry as, let's see what Daphne said. I think they do and see it from both points of view. You think they are similar?
Yeah. So guys, we are talking about how do you know when you're compatible with somebody. B, you started laughing. Like, how do you know when you're compatible with somebody? Like,
from B.
I really want to know, how do you know when you're compatible with somebody? Like for me, I just think that we just have to be on one accord. Yeah. Like we have to be flowing. It has to be, it has to be an ebb and flow type of situation going on. And it shouldn't be that much of a struggle for us to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it just should not be super duper hard for us to have that connection and that flow going on.
See, so I guess that's what I'm saying. That Daphne is saying over the phone, you are in love with the person. That's what I mean about our hearts connecting and not the physical.
But that's the connection that you're building that builds the
But see, I think chemistry a lot of time is the physical.
I
think it has a lot to do with it.
I don't know. I think it's both. I think it's both. Depends on how you meet, because you can develop chemistry with someone over the phone based on how much you all talk. Hi, Celeste. Hi, thank you for joining us. So B writes, when you have those moments when they just get you, No need for a lot of explaining yourself. Yep, that is true.
So what are you saying, B? Is that a connection or is that chemistry or is it the same?
Yeah. Because that's, I mean, when somebody just get you, like you don't have to say a whole lot. And
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. I get that. That's the connection. That's the bond. That's the chemistry. Like that's the, you know, we good. Like,
okay. And I'm gonna add to it. Like I said, how me and my husband met. We met online, and then we didn't meet up for 2 months. So, but since day one, even before we met, we have been in sync. I call it. You know, like. But we also are the same. We're the same sign. We're both Leos. So I mean, it makes it easy. We kind of know how each other think. We know each other. You know, when you're with the same sign. I don't know if this happens all the time. This is the first time, you know, that. Well, I married somebody that was my same sign, but yeah, for us, it is tremendous.
See, my sister friend, I call her my sister friend. I've been knowing her for many, like 17, 18, 19 years, 17, 18 years. And she and her husband's birthday are on the same day. So Nikisha writes, it depends on where you are in life. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, you got to expound.
What do you mean by that, Nikisha?
Come on, Nikisha.
When you say it depends on where you are in life, give us a compatibility. B said compatibility. Yeah. I agree with that.
I'm saying compatibility.
That's what compatibility is, chemistry. Like, you can't be compatible with somebody that you don't have chemistry with.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's like you can't. It's close.
I just don't see how that's possible. That's almost like having positive.
I guess because I'm like Daphne, I thought the chemistry was more on a physical.
See, for me, it's almost like having a positive thought, but you're in a bad mood.
No,
like you can't. It's hard to have both of them at the same time. So Nikisha, we're waiting on you to tell us when it depends on where you are in life. Like, what does that mean as it relates?
We need a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit. But so you guys, if you're just joining us tonight, we are talking about how do you know when you are compatible with someone. And so, like, I mean, there are some people that you just know not compatible. So how do you tell when you're not compatible with somebody?
Well, now that's when I would go to what Nikisha is saying. It depends on where you are in life, because this go round, getting back out in the gate later in life was definitely different than my earlier 20s.
Okay.
You know, and all the stuff that I accepted before, the arguing and this, that, and the other, it was a no-go this time. So if it looked like we would conflict more than normal, I'm not saying no one gets along all the time, then it would be a no for me.
So, okay, then I guess I get then where Nikisha comes from when she says it depends on where you are in life, because like, for instance, if you met somebody and all they want to do is just constantly go out in a club or something like that, and that's just not where you are, and that's just not what you want to do right now in your life, then I can definitely see y'all not being compatible, because you're not on one accord again.
Right. Because you always want to be in the street, and you more so want to do stuff together. Right. Now, for me, I love to dance. I mean, like, absolutely. Like I'm going to be dancing at 75. I tell you that right now. I love to dance.
Me too.
So, I mean, once a month.
We're going to be dancing together.
Once a month at least. I'm going to have to shake a roll. I'm going to have to. But, like, I dance at work.
Right.
So, like, my friends will say, I need some of that. I mean, I just like to dance. It makes me happy. So I'm dancing probably more than most people.
So Buffy, thank you for joining us, Buffy. If you just joined us, our conversation tonight is about how do you know when you're compatible with someone. Then we were just speaking about how do you know when you're not. And Nikisha, right, exactly. So we hit what Nikisha was saying on the head, because that determines, because a lot of people, I think, they try to negotiate or try to understand what those things are based on what they don't like. And it's hard, it's very hard for somebody to say, well, what makes you, what do you do like? Because I think we get so focused a lot of times on what we don't like versus knowing what we do like. Yeah. And I have to be transparent. I was like, a guy had asked me what makes me happy. And I had to pause for a minute, because it's like, dang, what makes me happy?
Because a lot of different things make you happy, probably. So
absolutely. So I'm like, so I had to pause and have to think about that for a minute and kind of, what did that mean? What that look like?
Oh, this is what Alex says.
So what Alex says, you bring balance and not try to change that other person. That's right, Alex. It's balance. You just get each other. It just gels and flow. Mm-hmm. Buffy says, I love to dance too. I dance everywhere.
Yeah, me too. I mean, my friend at work be like, I need some of that. I'm like, girl, why you ain't got it?
So definitely being able to identify what makes you compatible is going to be important, especially as you continue to date, especially if you're single and you continue to date people. Mm-hmm. You have to know those type of things for yourself. And then, like Nikisha said, it depends on where you are in life. Yeah. Like, you have to be going in the same direction. You have to be working towards the same type of goals. Right. Like, we're not compatible if my goal is to get married and yours is to just find you a friend that you can just chill with. Like, that we're not compatible because we're not going in the same direction. Right. Like, I'm not going around Atlanta collecting friends.
So let's go there.
Okay.
Since you said you're not compatible unless you're going in the same direction, so you want to get married. Uh-huh. So as you're dating or getting to know
this is a relationship rehab session. Y'all see where she's going with this already.
So as you're dating or getting to know different guys, okay, so how soon are you letting them know that that's what you're looking for? Like, when I was online, it was clear I was looking for a relationship. So that was part of the conversation. I didn't use marriage. I was looking for a relationship, because I think if you use the word marriage too soon, then it runs them away. You got to figure it out. But a relationship is more of what most people say that they're looking for. Okay. It's just a matter of not if it's going to be you or if it's going to be somebody else. Okay. So I just wanted to say that, because I didn't know if you were saying that. So I wanted to get that corrected. We're going to say looking for a relationship.
Well, I mean, I say that I am looking for a relationship. But I mean, the ultimate goal is definitely marriage. Yeah. That's what I mean, if they ask me, that's what it is. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to say that, my goal is to have a relationship that leads to marriage. And that's what I want. And because of that, I'm not doing anything else. Like, you're not going to be my friend today. I'm not looking for friends. I am here in the Atlanta area. I don't need a whole bunch of friends. I have girlfriends and people that I can talk to and chit chat with. I don't need a whole bunch of male friends, because when the husband comes, y'all got to go. Y'all got to go. Like, we're not talking. We're not cool like that. I don't know you from a long time ago. So we really not friends. You just, here to try to collect. I think people use that term friends so loosely. You know what I'm saying? Because what you ultimately saying, like, you looking for a friend with benefit. You know what I'm saying? And you're not necessarily looking for anything else. So Buffy, right? Okay. You are compatible when your core values are the same. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah.
Buffy, when your core values are the same, and it's like, what
now Daphne is saying. She was going back to me when I was saying about mentioning the relationship versus mentioning the marriage. She said that's strong to mention marriage and potentially scare that person. So we're thinking alike in that, same arena. It's just the wording.
It is, but I let them know when they ask me about what I mean by a relationship. My goal is to have a relationship that leads to a marriage.
Yes, and if they ask you about what do you mean by relationship, because it really should be self-explanatory. If you're looking for a relationship.
But some people don't want to get married. They probably want the relationship. They probably want a long-term girlfriend.
Then that's a hookup. I did a live on that, hookup versus a relationship.
Well, sometimes they want a long-term girlfriend or companion, and they don't want to get married. Some people just don't, but they do want that person, but they don't want the marriage that's associated with. So I'm just not her.
Yeah, and that's good, because you would have to be the one to say it's a next, even though it seems to be, it could lead to something. Sometimes you still got to say next.
Yes. So exactly. I just don't have time for that. So so when you are out here dating, okay, and so let's say
I get excited.
So when you are out here dating, and you find someone that's compatible. Because what I think happens sometimes is that women, we can get real close. You know what I'm saying? We feeling and we're vibing this person. Like, oh, we compatible. We start, creating all these plans and things in our mind about it. And then it, so how soon, if you're compatible, should a woman start getting in her feelings about what's going on between them and that other guy?
Like, is it going anywhere? Is that what you mean? Like, is it like, what are we doing? And you're saying how soon? What's your real question? Are you asking how soon should we be asking what we doing?
Yeah.
Oh, for me, I would say at least, because I'm a little slow. Figuring it out. I could be having a great time, but I'm still like, guard is up. I'm inching. So for me, I'm gonna say, 6-8 months. That's me. From what I understand, guys know very, very soon, almost like right away. My husband said he knew. But that's good. We both gotta know.
It's good,
It's good, That's not gonna make me just say, "Oh, okay, he know." No, it takes me a minute. I gotta go through it and see and make sure, and because I didn't want to get divorced again. Now, if I have to get divorced again, that's different. But I was trying to make sure that we took some time to make sure that we could do this thing.
Okay, so you're saying within 6 to 9 months,
at least 6 months,
we should be asking if we're vibing and we're compatible and we're feeling each other. Within 6 to 9 months, we should be asking, where's this going?
Yeah, because like my husband I think like in 3 he would like use words like we. I'm like, we. Whoa. Whoa, we. Look, see, he out here. He's saying 6 months.
And Buffy said, Nikisha said, marriage changes everything. Yes, it does. I definitely agree with you.
Changes
and then
how
does it change? How does it change?
Nikisha, you got to give me more. I need more.
And then Buffy writes, she should not get in her feelings until y'all have discussed it. No need in assuming anything. That's right.
No, you shouldn't assume. And that's what I said. Most guys, like, the language is changing. That's what I'm saying. Like Alice was saying, we. Before I was saying anything. He was saying we. I mean, I could tell he wanted me to be a part of his life.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it wouldn't have been hard if he didn't say anything in 6 months. It wouldn't have been hard for me to bring it up because he's already.
So we shouldn't just be going with the flow and just saying, we're in things like a long term, 1 and 2 years, and then we still don't kind of know which direction that the relationship is going in. Like we should have some type of answer, or we should know within 6 to 9 months.
Right.
So,
but a real answer, because that was on Steve Harvey. That a real answer, and that lady was a girlfriend for 12 years.
Oh.
And then he walked out. And then she let him come back, and he promised to give her a ring and such, and then he left again. So you got to make some decisions. But nobody should be a girlfriend more than 2 years at this stage of the game. We're not 20.
So okay, so I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. Okay, Facebook, I'm being transparent with y'all. So I joined Match, y'all. I joined Match about 2 weeks ago, right? I am, y'all. I did. So because I joined Match, y'all. So once somebody choose me, y'all heard that. Once he choose me,
I love the language. The language is correct. That's right. Okay.
So once somebody choose me, and we start dating, like after 6 months, we should know if we, moving towards a future. Yeah. Like a for real future, because that's all I'm looking for. I don't got time to waste.
And you also have to be willing to remove yourself if you're not on the same page. Oh, absolutely. Because then before you know it, it's going to be a year. And then are you going to be hoping to be on the same page? Then it's going to be a year and a half. Then that's how it gets to be so many years before you know it. So,
like I'm only conversing with people who are on the same page right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm only conversing right now.
I'm loving it. Yes.
I'm only conversing with people who are on the same page. Like,
That's
we don't have time for the rest of the stuff. Like, if you're not serious, if you don't really want nothing, if you're not ready to settle down,
because you're a good person. You got good things going on.
Yeah, I do.
Hey.
Thank you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yes, absolutely.
So that's how you know when you're compatible and moving in the right direction as it relates to that. So if we are providing you guys with value, we would like for you to share, like. Sharing is caring. It's free to share. There's somebody out here who needs this information. It might not be you. It might be somebody you know, or it may not be somebody that may be somebody you don't know. We don't know. But we ask that you share this. Share, okay?
We need this to get on the timelines because people confuse that compatibility.
Yes.
Now, Alex says, that's my husband, he says better 6 months than waste years.
Ooh, I know that's right, Alex.
That's from a guy. So he's thinking like that as well. I mean, so he was looking for a relationship. So he was trying to find somebody. And really and truly, guys, I mean, like he was coming in with the questions. So he was like asking, so somebody else asked you to go out. Are you going? I was like, well,
oh, what is that man?
I was like, my
that
goodness.
cartoon man.
I'm like, this man is serious.
What is that man? The cartoon man that
I never forget
like him.
That's how I was probably sounding on the phone when he said it too. I was like, well, I was just like in shock. Like most ladies are waiting on the guy to say something, right? So he's saying it. He's like, hey, so what you gonna do? I'm like, I guess I ain't going.
What is? Oh God, it was right there on the edge of my tongue. The name of that little cartoon.
Yes, he did. I was like, okay.
You are the prize, Daphne. That's right. We are the prize.
And we gotta know it. We gotta know that. Yes.
So what happened since we going here, right?
Yes.
Since we going here. So what do you tell women who are in these relationships for over a year and they have no direction? Only thing they are is a girlfriend. Like they don't know what comes after that. Like they're not in a situation. Right. Tell the people.
Because they're okay being a girlfriend.
Tell the people.
They're okay being a girlfriend.
So what should they do? Like, let's say somebody's out here.
You're assuming that somebody more.
Somebody who might see this is in this situation. What you gonna tell them?
I'm assuming that you want more. If you're still a girlfriend, you don't even know what direction you guys are going after a year. And the way that men are wired, if they're just okay the way things are going, I mean, they're already getting everything. So what's gonna make them turn the corner?
Right.
I'm speaking directly into the camera here on this one, for real.
Right.
We have to set the expectation. We have to know that we are the prize, and if he doesn't want it, the next person does, and gonna do right and gonna pass all the tests and everything.
So when should a woman just say deuces? If you don't, let's say how many, like after a year? After a year, what am I saying? Like how long? So after 6, Alex said, this comes from a man. So if y'all watching this coming from a man, he said 6 months. He said 6 months. You should know where you should know where you're going. So ladies, if you are dating someone and it's been longer than 6 months, then guess what? It might be time to say next. It might be time to say next.
And that's what most of us are scared to say. But if we know we the prize, if we know we make the circle complete, not a half circle, we know we make it go all the way around. We have got to know
360.
That. We have got to know that, ladies. Because like Daphne says, if it's not what you're looking for, you got to say deuces. You got to be okay saying deuces, because you know what? If he ain't ready, again, now you become uncompatible. So
so you have to be able, so what are some steps that you guys can take as if you're a woman and you're in this situation and you're in love and you're caught up and you're afraid to kind of ask the hard question about where you're going and what's going to happen after that out of fear of possibly losing this person.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But the question comes, do you really have this person? Or are you just there holding space? You know what I'm saying? Because for this person to not have known or not have asked or not be trying to make plans, like, because some guys, they can just be cool with being a long-term boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know, but if you desire.
If there's no expectations.
Yeah. But if you
desire.
We
set the pace. We set the pace.
Yeah.
We set the pace, ladies. We set the pace.
So if you desire to be married and you're dating someone, if you've been dating someone for over a year, and you have no direction as to where you're going in your marriage, in your relationship, maybe it's time to start taking steps backwards. Not saying that you have to just totally dismiss the whole dude, but you have to definitely start taking a couple of steps backwards to start thinking with your mind and not with your heart and your emotions.
That's right.
So that you can be able to make clearer and better decisions for yourself. Because sometimes, because we get in situations as women, we naturally make decisions at times emotionally. Yeah. That's not necessarily in our best benefit because we're so caught up emotionally and in our heart with this particular person.
Absolutely.
So start taking a few steps back, even if that means you have to start dating somebody else.
Yeah.
Because this person obviously is showing you that they're not on the same page with where you want and desire to be and go. Because some people will say, oh, well, we still getting to know each other.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say the number one thing, how you can tell if you continue to stay on the same page.
What?
If the man puts you first.
If he puts you first.
If you are first, you don't have to question. I mean, you already know it's going to be easy for you to ask those questions, even if they're taking too long, because he continues to put you first. Like, I knew my position. Like he was saying at 3 months. You see what I'm saying? He was making the position clear.
So what if he says, well, I'm out here doing all this stuff for us. I'm out here doing this, that for us. You act like this ain't good enough.
It's not. Again, we go back to the being scared, thinking that you're going to miss something. And you won't miss the person that's for you.
Now, I mean, some people.
I'm not talking about making ultimatums and making somebody. I don't want to make nobody do anything. That is not.
If you don't want me on your own free will, I'm good.
Absolutely. We are not saying that, because the prize don't have to make anybody do anything.
Right.
You know, the prize.
You just go get it.
Yes. I mean, they should be coming to get it.
So Nikisha, right, let your expectations be known. If he stays, great. If not, next. But I think this decision comes with maturity. Absolutely, Nikisha. I think it really does come with maturity. But I think a lot of times we begin to settle for things just because it feels good for us in that moment. And because it feels good for us, we let things slide. We listen to a lot of we're so understanding, we're so forgiving about certain stuff, and because it feels good and we get to go out, I met his family, like that don't mean nothing. Like how many other people met his family? You know, like that doesn't really mean anything. And I think we start to focus on like superficial things to try to make us feel better about what's not happening, and that end up talking us out of what it is that we really want and causing us to settle into something that we know, and when we know we want more.
I agree. Now Daphne says, because we ladies are not on loan.
Ooh. Y'all heard that.
We're not.
They're not they're financing you.
Yeah.
They're financing you if you're staying past a certain amount of time without going further.
Yes.
Without going further. Now, I mean, some people, you know, after, you know, some people get married in 2 years, but, you know, I guess they have
but I mean, like, okay, we got married in 3, but he proposed in 2. But I mean, even in that time, we were preparing for something. Like, we were taking steps towards the future. Yeah.
So you have to be preparing for something, not just talking about it. Y'all have to be taking some action. Yeah. You know, love is an action.
Like, I didn't even say anything, but I think he knew in 2 years, something to be taking place. Like, for real. I mean, like, Yeah. I mean, if I'm that good, why would you even need to wait longer than 2 years?
Right.
Hey, Tam.
Hi, Tammy. So Buffy writes, what about if he has just gotten out of a really bad relationship? Does those same rules apply? Because some men take hurt worse than we do. Yeah. You know what? One of my rules of thumb, Buffy, is that I've always said, I talked to a guy before who was going through a divorce and just gotten out of a divorce, and it wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't worth it because they wasn't necessarily ready. And the last thing you want to be is a rebound.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the day, a lot of guys, they don't end up with the rebound. They end up with the person after the rebound.
Yeah. Because
they've been able to emotionally dump all that stuff on you because you were there.
Yep.
You were carrying them. You were doing all this. Like when I say carrying them, I mean emotionally, being supportive, being down with them, being that ride or die. You know, all that stuff that we say we gonna do. You're doing all of those things. And a lot of times you don't end up being with that person. You let that person heal first. Yeah. And that's one thing that I teach women to heal. That's the same thing with men. Men, their process, even though I work mainly with women, the healing process is no different for a man.
But they typically go from bed to bed.
They go from bed to bed.
We take a minute. We take a minute, kind of release, the old relationship before we take on the next relationship. They typically don't.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
They typically don't.
That is true. So I mean, if he just got out of a bad relationship, that's not something you want to deal with because he ruined. I mean, if you heard a man say, "Oh, I'm divorced, but I don't never want to get married," you ain't over it yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You still got some work that you need to go work on, and that you have to do because you still hurt,
bitter,
and you still bitter about that divorce that you. So it'll hurt you so much to where you don't even want to live that kind of life anymore.
Yeah.
So
Daphne's agreeing with it. She said he needs to seek counseling before seeking a mate.
That's
exactly.
Right.
We both need to come to the table whole.
That's right.
And if you take that time, then that's how it works a lot better.
And Buffy says, that's what happened to me. His wife left him for another woman. Ooh. I had no idea that he had went through all that. Been hell. Oh yeah. I'm definitely sorry that that's been your experience. And that's one thing, like people are not forthcoming a lot of times about their real situations. Mm-hmm. And you don't find out a lot of things until after you become emotionally attached and involved in the situation. And that can be very hurtful and it makes it hard to detach from that situation. But we have to eventually pull our emotions together so that we can make an informed decision, because at the end of the day, we have to protect ourselves from the hurt.
That's right.
And if we don't protect ourselves from the hurt, then guess what? At the end of the day, you saw we see the red flags.
Yep.
And because we don't do anything about it, we end up in a situation where we hurt ourselves, and we have to then accept that responsibility. Like, man, I did that.
Yeah.
Because I saw it, I knew it was there, and I didn't move. I didn't move.
Yeah.
And I didn't back up, and I didn't do this, and I didn't do that, and I should have. Yeah. And we have to learn to do that because it can be an emotional process.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in total agreement with you on that one.
Yeah. So we gotta think, lady. We gotta think with our heads, not our hearts, and not our emotions, because that oftentimes gets in our way. Not oftentimes, but most of the time.
Hopefully from us going live, talking about these relationships, all these, it'll help out with the red flags, and the bells should be going off when he is not being forthcoming about how long he's been broken up from his previous relationship, or if he's over that person, because we've had that on here more than once about they go into the next relationship, then they end up, one guy went back to the previous relationship.
Sure did.
You know what I mean? So
sure did. So I mean, they gotta heal too. I mean, it's not cool for anybody to just jump from person to person and person to person, and you bleeding on everybody that you become involved
and
with.
A lot of times I think a lot of ladies, we try to fix the guy. Hey Diva, we try to fix the guy.
And we thinking we just love them to death. We'll love them till they change. We gonna be there ride or die. Right? We gonna be ride or die.
Somebody they can depend on.
No matter if it's killing us on the inside, you want to be there ride or die.
Yeah.
Right? So Buffy writes, oh, and if he says he's divorced, ask for the divorce decree. You're right. Because there's a lot of people saying that they're divorced and they're lying.
That's for sure.
They lying. They are lying. What county? Because that's a public record. How about that? That's a public record. What county?
But we even scared to look at that.
Yeah, because we don't want to deal with reality.
I'm just saying. We just putting it out here, guys.
We don't want to deal with reality sometimes.
And so Daphne is saying, and we don't have time to chase ghosts.
That is true. Not that we don't have time to chase ghosts. Those past, those exes.
Again, it goes back to knowing you the prize. Yeah. So they will show you when they want to be here. But again, I'm going back to what I said before. They will put you first.
That's right.
And if you're not first, it's a problem anyway.
And by putting you first, that's not, oh, well, he paying the bills if y'all, or he give me money, or, he get me this and he get me that. That's not putting you first. Putting you first is making sure that not only your needs are being attended to, but your wants and your desires are being attended to. Meaning, if he wants to marry you, or if he knows that that's what you want, then he's going to be making moves towards getting that done.
That's right.
Period.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Not just, he in your face and he in your face and you in his face, and that's putting you first.
But putting you first is taking account always of our feelings.
Right.
I take into account his feelings, he takes into account my feelings.
Right.
Making sure that we are good first.
Right.
Then everybody else comes after that.
Right. Absolutely.
That's what that means.
I definitely agree with that.
You guys got to be okay first.
Right. Absolutely. Because when you're in a situation to where, people are doing things that's they say it's unintentional, but it's intentional when you coming in being deceitful. It's intentional. Yeah. Because you intentionally lied to get what you wanted. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a lot of times though when I say I said we put each other first. Yeah. Did you hear me say that? So a lot of times I know, at least with the women, it's hard to let the kids come up under your mates. It's hard for a lot of women to let you in it. You got to make sure you guys are good. And if you're good, everything else is going to fall in alignment. I promise you. Yeah. You got to make sure you're good. And that's hard for a lot of women because it's been me and my daughter, or, me and my son. And it's kind of hard to let somebody else come in and get the spot. And then, but it's an order of things.
Yeah, that's definitely, I definitely agree with you on that there's an order as it relates to, how things should be prioritized and how people should be prioritized.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah. But some women think that, well, he ain't my husband, so,
No, I'm talking about the one that you got, you guys are moving in this direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the ones who he moving towards being.
Not everybody you meet. Yeah. Right. Not every guy you meet and trying to date and still trying to figure it out. Right. I'm talking about, relationship.
So cool. So you guys, if you just joined us, we are talking tonight about how do you know if someone is compatible with you, and we've talked on different levels about this. We've talked about if they're not compatible with you, we discussed that if you are been in a relationship for over 6 months and you don't know where your relationship is headed, you don't know what you guys are doing. We've talked about how that's not being compatible, especially if you want one thing and they don't want that, and you guys aren't moving toward obtaining that together.
That's right.
That's not being compatible. And number 3, we talked about how if you are currently in a relationship for over 2 years or something like that. I think it was a year or 2 years, something like that. And how you can slowly begin to pull away because emotionally you are still attached to something that's not compatible and in your best interest to have. And as a result of that, we have to start thinking with our heads not with our emotions and our heart. Because when we think with our emotions and our heart, we stay. We stay and we hold on tighter as a result of those things. No matter what, you got to be thinking, is this good for me? Right. And you know, if you keep staying and keep staying and keep staying because it feels good. That's right. But is it good? Right. Because your feelings can change. Because all it takes is one wrong move, and then you could be like they say, it's a thin line between love and hate. All it takes is one wrong move, and then them feelings change just like that. And that's why it's important, even though it's hard. Because please believe me, it's hard when you have emotionally invested in a situation and you're not getting the end result that you desire to have. It's hard. It's very hard. And that's what we say, you have to take a step back and you have to evaluate that situation. Because what did my husband say earlier? He'd rather it be 6 months than waste years. Than to waste years. That came from a guy. And we know, you know, she mentioned someone who, they was 12 years, you said? Oh, yeah. I was watching this on my phone earlier. It was someone in a relationship, and she had stayed 12 years as a girlfriend. And he walked out. Then, of course, whatever he walked out for, it didn't work out because it was temporary. And then he wanted to come back. And she let him come back on the promise of them getting married. But she never demanded a ring after somebody walking out and you wanting to come back. I mean, you got to make some things happen at that point to get back. She just let him come back. So there were no requirements. There were no expectations. So he just came back in and flowed the second time and left again. Quay. And left again. So all those years wasted. Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, I knew someone who was in a similar situation, and you know, it broke my heart because, you know, for someone to be in there. But, you know, one thing that I had to talk to her about was, you know, what were the red flags? You know what I'm saying? Because there was things along the way in a relationship that tells you is not leading up to what you have always wanted it to be. And it's like, how long are you waiting? Because we can get fed all these excuses about, I'm trying to get my money right, or you know, I'm trying to get us a house, or we need to do this first. You want a house or you want a wedding? You know, they like to throw that kind of stuff out there because they know you want a house. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, you want a house or you want a wedding? Like, what you want to do? Like, you have like, why would you give me that type of ultimatum? You just basically telling me you'd rather just continue to just live with me than to even make me a wife. But we fall for that. We fall for we want a house because we know we do. Right. At the end of the day, we want a house for our family, you know, a soft spot to lay our head and all of that. Yeah, we do want those things. But again, ladies, we gotta be thinking. We gotta be looking at the end game. And I talked about that last week. What's your end game? You gotta know where you're going, as we talked about earlier. You gotta know where you're going, and you gotta be willing to walk away. Say next. So we've talked to mostly all the women in the different situations. So if you find that you're in a situation and you're not getting what you want out of it, if you've been there for 2 years and you have to question, where's this going? What am I doing? What, you know, this is not what he told me. This is not what he promised me. That doesn't mean you get down and propose to him or give him or give him an ultimatum about what it is that, you either marry me or not, because men don't want to be forced to have to marry you. You know, you don't want that either. And you don't want that. So, and you don't need to, you know, in this day and age, it's so many women just kind of being aggressive with what they want, and they like asking. Like one guy told me about Bumble. Bumble, and it's a dating app where the women actually pursue the men, or they have to reach out to the men first, and they got to send them messages first. I was like, ooh, I know I won't be on that site. Well, I was on a certain site years ago,
And I won't say the name, but yeah, that's what I found to be true on that site. And I'm just like, okay, so I know ain't nothing wrong with me and ain't nothing happening, and stuff was happening on the other site. So I see how this site works. It's like, oh no, let me get off of here. I was on there for a very short period of time, because that's, again, as I always say, if you let the men choose, you don't have to figure out if they like you.
Well, they feel like, well, what are some women who are already in this situation feeling like they already been chosen, but they really have, I mean, we get, you guys, we're only talking to those women who desire to be married, those women who desire to have that, that complete and oneness with their mate. Now, if you're okay with your situation, then that's fine. You know, whatever floats your boat.
As long as you're happy.
You know, as long as you're happy, if that's what you desire to have, then okay. Because some people are okay with being long-term girlfriends. Some people are okay with just cohabitating with a person without any type of commitment. And that's fine. If that's what you want, if that's what you believe in, then more power to you. So we're only talking to those women who desire more, who wants more, who wants a marriage, who wants not just a relationship, but a marriage.
And we're trying to help you look at the signs.
Absolutely.
Be aware. We just putting it out there, just putting different information out there, because sometimes we're too involved to see it.
Absolutely.
Or to realize it.
And it's hard. And don't get us wrong. Like, I have definitely been in that situation. I have been in situations where my heart and my heart had, and my feelings have made decisions for me. And guess what, y'all? I'm still single.
Yeah.
So obviously it did not turn out the way that I wanted it to turn out. Right. But because I stayed in that situation, leading with my heart and my emotions, you know, and didn't pay attention to the signs, then that's why I'm still single.
Yeah.
You know,
we're going to get it right now. So Yolanda writes, being equally yoked.
Yes.
Yes. She was saying also it's out of order. When I was saying it's a process. It's the way it's supposed to work. And Tammy says her takeaway is women must set a standard. Absolutely. That's what we've been saying, because the men have theirs. They have theirs whether they say or not. Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. So we have to set the standard. It goes by us.
I definitely agree with that.
It goes by us.
So, I mean, I think that women can start off with these standards, right?
Yeah.
And then we get caught up in the emotions and the feelings behind it, because it changed later on.
Yeah.
It's almost like I got you
over again.
It's almost like I got you.
They don't want to do this again with the next guy.
Right.
But the next guy, what he may be. I'm just trying to tell y'all. The next guy may be the fairy tale. I'm going to keep pushing it. The next guy. If you just give it one more try.
The fairy tale.
I'm just saying. I'm going to keep pushing it. I'm going to keep pushing it.
Talking about this fairy tale.
It's real.
When I see this, when I get this fairy tale, I'm going to be all up and through these
you were like, she told me.
About fairy tale.
Hey, I'm 2 for 2 right now.
I'm interested in seeing what the fairy tale is going to be.
Yes.
I'm interested in.
So let's see what Yolanda says. Out of order for the website to ask me.
Oh,
exactly.
Right.
But see, they're not approaching it with old-fashioned values or anything like that, yo. So you know, and the thing is, we're doing it. The women are doing it. So, that's why there's no order of things, that we will set a standard again, as Tammy said, set a standard.
I don't know. But what I can say is, let's talk about y'all wanting this fairy tale out here.
Yeah.
And since
I have to bring back that it's real. That's what I think my whole platform is, to let you guys know that it does exist. Because I think a lot of people don't believe in it.
Me, I'm one. I'm not ashamed.
But you still keep listening to my stories.
I mean, I'm listening. I'm listening and waiting. Like, what is fairy tale? I don't know what this look like. I don't know what it's supposed to feel like, but we'll see. But what I do know, you guys, is that you can't have a fairy tale in a situation where you're not compatible and
That's
you
right.
guys are not headed in the right direction. You should not have to feel like you have to suppress your wants, needs, and desires in a relationship just so you can have a warm body next to you at night. That's not the fairy tale. And that is not getting those things that you desire to have in life. Sam. You're not on one accord. No. You're not compatible with each other. You're not headed in the right directions. You're settling.
Absolutely.
You're just flat out settling because this is what it is and this is what it's been.
And if you wait for the next one, but you can't be scared to let go of the one that you know, what I always say, trying to fit a square into a circle.
That's what
trying to make it fit. Trying to make it fit because this is the one because you want that warm body next to you.
Right.
But the next one.
So look, if you guys want this fairy tale, right? So if you want that and you desire to have that, there are things that you have to do in order to get it. Yes. And you can't be afraid to stand up. Hi, Auntie. You're at the end of our show. You're gonna have to go back and watch us watch the replay. So if you desire and you want to have that, like there are some things that you're gonna have to put in place about yourself. One, you're gonna have to know that you deserve more. Number one. Number two, you're going to have to step back and think with your mind and not with your heart and your emotions, because that's going to keep you blind to what's really going on all the time. It's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy. Yeah. So, I mean, it's easy for me to talk it and it's easy for me to say it, but for someone to do it as well as myself, because I've been there, done that. It's hard. It's very hard, but you have to take that stand for yourself. Absolutely. Because if not, are you going to continue year after year and wait 10 years down the road and you just settle, I'm 40, I'm 50 now. I might as well just stay. I've been doing it this long. Like, you don't have to settle for that kind of stuff.
I got to say this.
So Yolanda says,
I am a widow from a wonderful marriage. I don't know if I want to get married again. I got to know that I know for the next marriage. He wants to get married, but I am not ready.
That's good, Yolanda.
Okay. Now, he wants to get married, but you say you are not ready. So how long have y'all been together, y'all? Because you could be keeping both of you from your next fairy tale. You already know what a wonderful marriage was. You've had it before. So if you're still questioning and you guys are together and it's just something in the back of your mind that's not letting you want what he wants, because I mean, he's the man. He wants to bring you into his life. So there's something that's making you hesitate. So we got to break that down a little bit further, and we can do that. She said 3 years. Oh, So see, you already over that time period that we're telling us as women, we're saying to the guy that that's too long. So again, like I just said, each of you could be stopping each other from having your fairy tale because you already know what a wonderful marriage is. You've had it before.
And I think
so you probably got him. He's probably trying to live up to that standard, and this person may never meet that standard.
And one of the things,
and it's what you really want, though. You have to keep that in consideration.
And one thing I want to say, Yolanda, it's great that you know and you recognize that you're not ready. But have you communicated that before? Because one thing, when you lose a spouse, there's a grieving, there's some fear about the next person. There's a lot of things that you have to kind of be able to move past in order to be able to take you to the next level, and to allow yourself to allow another person in close enough to you like that, and understand that death is a normal process at some point. So we have to be able to accept that part of it, but not being afraid to allow that to cause you to miss out on the luxuries of life.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if this could be your next fairy tale or not. Only you know what your relationship is like with this guy for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But
you're staying for some reason, but if your heart is not smiling, you're doing the right thing to wait. But again, you could be missing your fairy tale. You could be missing that next person. He could be missing that next person that's okay with whoever he is or whatever. Your next person, you could be missing that. Oh my God, I wish we had much more time.
Minister
what she saying?
Crystal Batter, she says, when we learn from our mistakes of picking what not in God's will, then the next king will be from the king above. Why? When we seek God first, everything will line up with the standards of God. You are absolutely right.
I totally agree.
You are absolutely
I know
right.
God put me and my husband together. Now,
we
Yolanda
definitely
says,
got to learn from our mistakes.
Yes. She did communicate that to him. And I have stopped comparing in my mind. Oh, Lord. I had to put that out there, Yolanda, because I know, being with somebody for a long time, but I married a total opposite of what, I had the first time. But I asked God for something different. So specific words. I said, God, I need something different. I need this. I need that. I need this. I asked for something totally different because when I got back out here, I found myself picking the same thing,
So Yolanda, what I was, one recommendation that I would make is for you to be able to explore what is keeping you from engaging further in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's keeping you from engaging. It could be fear. It could be the loss, the feeling of abandonment again,
starting over.
Starting over. I mean, all of those things. So you have to definitely explore what that is that's keeping you from being able to totally and fully engage and give yourself to this next person.
But Yolanda, that smile you got, girl, you'll be fine. We gonna talk. You will be fine. She's like, yes, 14 years of marriage, conferences, whole 9 with my husband. Yeah. See, that was a wonderful marriage. I totally get it. And you want that again. Not necessarily exactly that, but you're looking for something like that. And you deserve that. That's what you deserve. And you got to know it, yo. You got to know that's what you deserve. That's what you're looking for. Because that's what makes your heart smile.
Right. And you definitely, if you're not ready, you definitely don't rush into it. And just being able to explore that, whether it's with a coach or whether it's in a therapy setting, is going to be important for you because it's going to help you to remove whatever is blocking you from being able to get your blessing. Yeah. Because sometimes we allow that fear. Sometimes we allow that a fear of abandonment or that fear of starting over. I mean, as you see, fear is keeping you from being able to get what you probably want in your heart, but you're just afraid to step out and do that.
I got you. I got you, Yolanda. I got you. We're going to have some more conversations, but don't even worry about that. I'm so glad you shared. This is what it's for, ladies. This is what it's for. This is what it's for.
Yes. So if you guys, if we have provided you with value tonight, I would like for you to be able to share, like, because if this message isn't for you, it's for somebody that you know, or maybe somebody that you don't know that might need to hear this, right? Absolutely. So you guys, we are getting ready to sign off for the night. Sorry to cut it short abruptly. Minister Windsor says, yes. Thank you for joining us. Thank you
Every
so
Wednesday,
much for joining
8 o'clock right here.
Yes. And so you guys, I am D.Renee, the transformation specialist. I support women with overcoming obstacles to help them elevate in life and business. So if I can support you in any way, feel free to send me a message on my DM, or you can click the book now button and you can book a strategy session a discovery session with me, and we can talk more about how I can support you.
Absolutely.
Please go on my not my Facebook page, but to my website at D.Renee.org, which is DRENEE.org. Go sign up for my email list. We got some great things that's coming out. So just sign up for my email list and you'll get all that information about that.
Yep. And I am Stephanie Rochelle, your relationship rehab specialist. And I help women release your pain. Thanks, Daphne. I help women release your pain and reset your emotions so that you can get unstuck, Yolanda, and live your fairy tale life and win in love and business. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hit me on my
you guys, if you have enjoyed this tonight, please share, because there's some woman, some lady, it might be one, it might be two, that might need this information, and we'd like for you to be able to share that with them.
Yes.
Okay, so you all have a great evening, and we would like to see you back here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, you all have a wonderful night. And we appreciate your support, and thank you for tuning in.
Ran out of juice.